times in his rhymes cause his memories. We running through New York so you never leave. Strap my lungs then we puffin' through with that, right? We're giving them some stories, they come back like manic this, manic that, while you crawling to me.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a video on don't buy a used BMW until you watch this. As you guys know, I've been doing quite a lot of videos regarding this kind of situation, and the reason I'm doing this is basically for people who are trying to come into the BMW scene and people who are new to BMW. So I get asked a lot, what do I look for when going to buy a BMW? People want to see a video of me going to buy a used car. So I'm going to tell you now what I look for. So when I go to purchase a new BMW, here's the first thing I look for. I win the car, or I find the car on an auction site or, you know, a selling site. I will ring the buyer up. Now, the first mistake a lot of people make when they're willing to buy a car is give the person a time and a date or when they're coming. You don't do that. Two reasons. The first one being that gives the potential seller time to wash down the engine and warm up the engine, and you'll miss any kind of problems there are from cold. That's something you don't want to do, especially when buying a BMW. The next one is to monitor leaks. Now, a lot of people will jet wash the engine bay and try and clean out any kind of leaks that ever were, because you got to understand, BMW have a lot of under trays and it hides a lot of leaks. So when you go to see a BMW, you need to make sure that there is no leaks. Now, I expect leaks from the sump gasket. That's something the seller can't help and nobody can help. That's normal. But you got to be aware, if you're going to purchase an M52 engine, that the leaks from the oil filter housing gasket is a common problem and it's something you have to look for. Now, when I go to look at that and I see that leak, I think to myself, two things. Is the car going to make it home, depending on the mileage I'm going to pick up this car, driving it, or am I going to need recovery? Now, that go by the severity of the oil leak coming from the oil filter housing gasket, because there's two things. If it's not severe, you'll get away with it just running oil down the block and losing a bit of oil. The next one is you'll have it very severe that it'll end up throwing oil down your engine, down the block itself onto the belts and derailing the belts while you're on the highway at 70, 80 miles an hour. Not something you want to risk. The next one, when I go to the seller's house, I don't let them know what I know, my knowledge. When I ring them, I don't let them know I know anything about BMW. You want to act like you're new to BMW, which most of you will be. But for me, obviously I'm experienced. I still don't let them know I'm experienced. I want to go there as a freshie, because of the simple reason being, if they know you've got mechanical skills, these guys might be mechanically skilled. Now, the best way to always know if someone is telling the truth about a used BMW is when you win it or you go to buy it, especially traders, they will ask you for a deposit. Now, if they ask you for a deposit, that should be an immediate warning in your head, a red light, to avoid that car. And I'll tell you why. When working in the trade myself, the reason a lot of people take deposits is because that person who's going to come to buy that car, you're going to end up walking away from it because it's a bad car. Now, if that's 10 people that come to view that car that day and pay £100 deposit, and they tell everyone we need a deposit if you want to come and see it because we got another person coming, with their famous tactic when going to buy a used BMW is we've got other people coming for this car. If you don't buy it, we need a deposit. So they force you into paying a £100 deposit. 10 people on that day, that's £1,000. If the car's listed for £3,000 and they have 30 people in a week, they've just got the money there asking for that whole car because they know they're not sure they're going to sell that car. Now, you being you're just going to pay the deposit because you're not sure about that car. You can't get there in time. You could be traveling 400 or 500 miles for this car that looks immaculate online but could be terrible under the bonnet. You don't know that until you go there to go and see the car. But this is why a lot of traders will make you pay a deposit beforehand. The reason for this is so they make their money back off that car in case they have to scrap it. So be aware of that as well, guys, that if you're going to go and buy a used BMW, don't pay no deposit. You always can tell a good seller and a good trader if they don't ask you for a deposit. What they'll say to you, it's fine, come whenever, just give us a call, we'll keep the car for you, it's no problem. They're the ones that ain't too worried if it sells or doesn't sell because they know they're going to sell it anyway. So they're the kind of people you need to look for. Anyone who asks you for a deposit, immediately be warned that they're the ones that are looking to con you, because at the end of the day, and they won't give you a refund on your deposit. I might add, they will not refund your deposit for you. So please be aware of that as well. And that's because they're there to make money and they're trying to make the whole money on that car, and then they can basically scrap it. That's when they'll sell it for peanuts and basically put it in an auction and get 400, 500 quid. That's what a lot of traders do. Same as in the UK, we get a lot of traders here. What they do is charge £100 deposit. Once they've made the amount of money they want for that car, then they'll just put it in the auction and make 400 or 500 quid. They don't care because they've already made their money off it. That's what a lot of them do here in the UK. Be aware of that. This is a common technique used here. The next one on these cars is they'll try and hide the problem. So when I say hide the problems, you'll go to view a car, especially a BMW, you'll see the diagnostics port open. If that flap has been opened, your mind should be saying to yourself, why? Why is that? Why have they opened the diagnostics port? Now, with BMWs, most people only have a cheap little scanner, or maybe Carly, that they'll clear just the generic fault codes, which will be your P0 codes. If you take ISTA with you, which is the BMW dealer software, which obviously I do, and which you guys have seen on my channel, that will show any kind of shadow codes, any kind of fault codes in that system that their little scanners can't do. That is the best software you can use. Now, little traders will think that they've cleared the fault code just to get rid of the engine management light, because obviously you guys ain't going to want to go there to purchase your new BMW and see an engine management light on. They want to make the car look as blissful as possible, clean it out. They even promise they're going to valet it for you and look as admiring as possible. Now, you do not want them hiding fault codes from you. Why? Them hiding a fault code from you will cost you down the line. For instance, you're in this car's perfect. They've hid that fault code from you. You've gone and purchased that car. The next thing, you've then got a massive problem and you're like, oh my God, I knew this was going to happen. This is what, and then everyone will be telling you this is why I told you not to buy a BMW. Do not listen to that. These cars are not bad cars. It's the people that sell you them are bad people. Because if they were to leave that code on it, you would know then, you would say to yourself, you know what, I might just buy this car, offer them less and use that money to go and repair the problem. But when you get traders that hide the problem from you and you purchase that car genuinely thinking that the car is perfect, then you end up with the faults. You've got no choice because you don't have the money because you just paid for over the top for a car that you could have paid a quarter for, knowing, you know, it was going to have no problems. Now, I'm just going to state to you, when going to buy a used BMW, you guys know as well, majority of people are on forecourts. They try and offer you 6 months warranty, engine and gearbox. Do not believe any of that. Their warranty is useless. Auto Guard, all them kind of places that offer warranty, mostly with these traders for over 10 years old cars, is useless. The warranty does nothing. They will not replace the parts. You'll have to shell out half the money still for the warranty. And guess what? Majority of them don't even understand BMW. They'll replace it with the cheapest parts possible just to get your car back running. So you can't say that warranty was void. Your best thing to do is, if you're mechanically minded and you're willing to learn yourself, do what I do. If there's ever a kind of problem on these cars and they give you warranty, you ring the trader and you tell them you want money back for the parts and you'll repair it yourself. Now, I've only come across that situation once and the trader gave me the money to repair the car. Because obviously he knew I don't play games, and secondly, he knew I was capable of repairing it myself. Now, it was either going to be that to give me the money for the parts needed, or he's going to go into a shop and he was going to pay £1,200. I saved his ass. That's the simple fact of it. Like I said to you, if you're planning to go and buy a BMW, make sure the diagnostics port ain't open. A lot of traders will leave that open. That's their biggest flaw. They're in a rush to do it before you go there. They'll start the car up and think, crap, it's got a fault code. They quickly run inside and get the scanner, clear the fault code, and then you're going to be there in 5 minutes. So what do? Forget the ports open and just shut the door and leave the port open. The biggest flaw in it, and that's the biggest way to tell that car. A lot of them will try and tell you, oh, it had codes because the battery went flat, this, that, the other. Don't be fooled by it. It's not. It's because the cars are problematic. You have to remember, traders do not fix these cars. They buy them the way they are, clean them, make them look presentable, sell them on. That is it. So when you go to purchase your used BMW, always take with you a scanner capable of reading BMW codes. If you're new to BMW, I recommend ISTA, or if you ain't got ISTA, go and get a Carly adapter. Carly will do just to read your diagnostics, just so you can find out what codes that car's got. Because I'm telling you, there will be codes stored. These cars have a lot of modules. Mine alone has, you know, over nearly 24 modules. They always store a code, and it's not that. You want to make sure the car you're buying has no issues with the solenoids, with the water pump codes, anything that's going to warrant you to have to spend that kind of big money straight away. You got to remember, as from my previous video, water pump and Vanos solenoids are the two most expensive things on this car. If they are failing, they're going to cost you £300-400. That's money that should have been taken off the car when you purchased it. It's only worth paying 4 or 5 grand for that car if you don't have issues with that car when you first scan it. If you do, then there's going to be a big problem. Like I said, it's not worth you paying the big money for that car if it's got them issues. So my best advice to you, ring the traders or ring whoever you're going to purchase the car from. Do not let them know you have any kind of skills or knowledge based on BMW. Go there as a normal person. Do not book a time with them when you're going to see it. Do not prepare with them when you're going to see it. turn up unexpectedly and say, I'm coming to see the car, can I be there in 5 minutes? You don't want to give them a chance to start the car. You don't want to give them a chance to wash the car. You want to see it based on them. You want to give them the element of surprise. You basically want to hear that car start from cold to make sure it's got no rough idle. Make sure the idle's not dipping when it first starts. Make sure it starts from hot. You want to test drive it. Make sure you test drive these cars as well. The one thing I get on these cars is people go and purchase them. They don't test drive them. They go and look at them, look at all the engine. Don't even think of test driving them. Just give the guy the money and then get down the road. Find out there's fault codes popped up on the dash. The gearbox is going into limp mode where someone's put some kind of liquid in it to stop the gearbox slipping. And then they've just lost out on all their money. Make sure the biggest problem you will get is not test driving these cars. Make sure you test drive them. You take as long as you need. You are in no rush. Take 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, take however long you need. Do not rush when buying this car. It's going to save you money in the long run. If it's not right and it doesn't feel right, don't buy it. Trust your instincts, don't trust your heart on the car. A small little problem, like, I don't know, the window switches packing up or something like that, that's fair enough. You know, it's something small. Or one of the bulbs being out, it's fair enough. Something you can change. But if it's something major like the iDrive being out or the windows not working, Bluetooth not working, something like that, the key not accepting, that's a big problem. Like, there's another problem I see is a lot of cars on eBay and your Gumtree and, you know, you name it, repossession cars where they're picking up cars from people's houses and they're not getting the key of the car. And then you know what happens? They're calling people like me to clone them a key because they're going to pick up BMWs which don't even have the key, which then I need to end up getting in the car and making a new key for that car, you know, from scratch with nothing. Because they don't, when people repossess them, they come with nothing, no documents, no keys. And that's something you have to be aware of. If you're thinking of buying a repossessed car, bear in mind that car might come with no documents. It might even be damaged from the owner when the bailiffs took the car, that they might have kicked it in or smashed something up or treated it like crap. That's the whole reason they wanted it repossessed. A lot of repossessions are because they have failed the person and the person just didn't want to carry on paying the finance, and that's why it's repossessed. They didn't want to pay the finance anymore because the car went to basically crap and they couldn't afford it anymore. So that's why they wanted it repossessed. So bear in mind on that. When you're buying a repossessed car, you can't access the bonnet, you can't access the car, you don't know if it starts. You're buying that car blindfolded. So basically, you're buying that car not knowing if it starts, not knowing what the engine is like underneath, not knowing if it's ever been serviced. You know nothing. You're buying the car blind. That's why they go cheap. So be aware of that. If you're thinking of buying any kind of used BMW, be aware of them facts. That if you're planning to buy from a trader or even a private person, now I've known private people that do it. I've known private people that take a deposit on PayPal when you're interested in a car and they want a deposit for you to hold it for them. There are other people. Don't be thinking, oh, because they're private, they don't do the same. Don't be fooled by that, because a lot of people act as their private sellers, but they're actually traders from home. That's what it is, because they don't want the fees of being a trader and they don't want to have the name as a trader, because they know traders get very, very bad names. And also, if they sell you a dodgy car, you can have a comeback on them. That's why a lot of them don't trade from a business, because traders like to sell crap cars, a lot of them. And when they sell crap cars, they don't want to come back. They don't want to give you warranty. They want to make the money and that's it, keep the money. And you can't come back to them from a home address. So that's why they state that they're a private seller, but they'll definitely ask you for a deposit. And the reason they ask you for a deposit is because they want to make that money. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is BMW Dr. Dean here. If you are thinking of buying a used BMW, you really need to take these things into consideration before you go and buy one. These are all the things I come across. I will be taking you guys with me when I do go and purchase another BMW, just so you can see how I deal with it. I am buying it from a trader as well, so I want you guys to actually see how I deal with them in person. There's a lot of you that have been wanting to see me. You want to see me go and purchase a car and what I look for. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I look for. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.